Hello everybody and welcome to another session of Maths with Mr. Luke. Are you all sitting beautifully? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Eyes on me. 1, 2. Eyes on you. Looking, listening, thinking and concentrating. I can see you are all sat beautifully, so we shall begin. First of all, we are going to start with our maths warm-up. So if you haven't got your things ready, get them ready now. You need a whiteboard and a pen, or if you don't have that, a piece of paper and a pencil is absolutely fine. If you are not ready, pause the video now and come back when you are. Okay, I can see you are ready, so let's have a look at the first question. What is half of 12? What is half of 12? Well, we said yesterday that to half something, you need to share it by 2. You need to share it by 2. And I've got 2 plates here, and you need to share 12 between the 2 plates. Pause and stop the video now and come back when you have your answer. Okay, I can see you all had a jolly good try. The question is, what is half of 12? Well, we need to share 12 between the 2 plates to find out how much is half. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got to 12, so we stop, and all we have to do now is count how many circles are on each plate. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 on that plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have 6 on this plate. So we now know that a half of 12 is 6. If you got that right, give yourselves a big tick. If not, go back and have another try. Let's look at the next one. This time our question is, what is half of 14? What is half of 14? Stop the video now and come back when you have an answer. Okay, I can see you've tried really hard at this one. The question is, what is half of 14? Well, we need to take 14 and share it between the 2 plates. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we've got to 14 and we stop, and now we just have to count how many's on each plate. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh! I made a mistake. I'm counting all of them together, silly Mr. Luke. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 on that plate. Let's count how many are on the next plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. We've got 7 on this plate, 7 on this plate. So we've got 7 as half of 14 is 7. If you've got that right, give yourselves a big tick. Well done. If not, go back and have another go. Let's have a look at the next one. This question says, what is half of 16? What is half of 16? So take 16 and share it between the 2 plates. Pause the video and come back when you have an answer. Okay, I can see you've got your answers now, so let's have a look at how we would work this one out. What is half of 16? Well, we've got 16 and we need to share it between the 2 plates. So let's start that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We got to 16, so we stop. Now we just have to count how many circles are on each plate. Let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 on this plate. Let's try the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's 8 on this one. So we now know that a half of 16 is 8. If you got that right, give yourselves a big tick, superstars. Let's have a look at one more warm-up question. What is half of 18? What is half of 18? My goodness, these numbers are getting bigger and bigger. Half of 18, pause the video and come back when you have your answer. Okay, let's have a look at this one together. What is half of 18? Well, we need to take 18 and share it between the two plates. Let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We've got to 18. Okay, we took 18 and we shared it between the two plates. Let's count how many circles are on each plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 here. And on this plate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9 here. So we now know that half of 18 is 9. If you got that right, give yourselves a big tick. Well done, everybody. If you struggled with any of that, go back and have another go. Let's move on and see what we are learning today. Well, today we are learning something completely different that you have never done before at school. But I think we are ready for it. Today we are looking at telling the time. Telling the time. And we are going to be telling the time by looking at clocks like this one. Now this is going to be tricky, so you're going to have to really concentrate and listen, okay? You need to listen and concentrate for this one. Okay, here I have got a clock. This is called a clock. And on the clock, the numbers go all the way around the clock. Let's see which numbers there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can see on our clock the numbers only go up to 12, and they start with number 1 here and they go all the way around until we get to 12. And you can see that 12 is at the top of our clock. 12 is at the top of our clock. But I think something is missing from this clock. Let's have a look at what might be missing. We haven't got these arrows, and we call these arrows the hands. The hands. They're the hands of the clock. Just like my hands, these are the hands of the clock. And we have a little hand. A little hand. Can you say that? Little hand. And we also have a big hand. So we have a big hand and a little hand. A big hand and a little hand. Brilliant. Now, we're going to be learning how to tell the time. Now, you always need to look at where the little hand is pointing. Okay, so have a look at this little hand. Which number is it pointing to? It's pointing to the number 8. It's pointing to the number 8. The little hand is pointing to the number 8. When the big hand points to the number 12, we call that o'clock. O'clock. When the big hand points to the number 12, we call it o'clock. So if we've got the little hand pointing to the number 8 and the big hand pointing to the number 12, we can call it 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock, okay? In all of today's clockwork, the big hand will always be pointing to 12. So this is 8 o'clock. Okay, let's use this clock to look at some different times. I'm going to start with this one here. Now you can see the big hand is pointing to 12. The big hand is pointing to 12, which means it's o'clock. If the little hand is pointing to 2, we call it 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Let's have a look at another example. Let's do this one here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that one and we're going to do this one here. Okay, have a look. The big hand is pointing to the 12, so we know it's o'clock. And the little hand is pointing to 4. If the little hand is pointing to 4, we can say 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Let's do another example. Okay, let's get rid of that one. Let's do a different one. Okay, have a look here, everybody. The big hand is still pointing to 12. The big hand is pointing to 12. And the little hand is pointing to 6. If the little hand is pointing to 6, we can say it's 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Okay, the big hand's pointing to 12 and the little hand's pointing to 6. We can call it 6 o'clock. Let's do a couple more just to make sure we're sure at what we're doing. Okay, have a look at this one. Where is the little hand pointing? Well, the little hand is pointing to the 8 and the big hand is pointing to the 12. We look at the little hand, it must be 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. When the big hand's pointing to 12, we say o'clock. So this is 8 o'clock. We're going to do one more, okay, everybody? One more to make sure we understand. And if we don't understand, we'll get easier as we go along. Okay, have a look. What one do you think this is? Well, our big hand is pointing to the 12, so we know it's o'clock. And if the little hand is pointing to 10, we call that 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. You are doing so well. I know this is tricky, but I know you can do this. Okay, we've got a few questions here. What time is it? What time is it? Have a look at the clock. Well, the big hand's pointing to 12, so we know it's o'clock. And where's the little hand pointing? It's pointing to 7. So we know it is 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. This time, the little hand is pointing to the 3. So we know it is 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Now, our big hand still stays on the 12. It's going to stay on the 12 all the time, but our little hand is now pointing to 11. So we know that it is 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. This time, the little hand points to the 6. So we can say it is 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Here, our little hand is pointing to the 9, pointing to the 9. So we can say it is 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Ooh, this time the little hand is pointing to the 12. So we can say it is 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Now, I've given you 3 different clocks and I've got a question for you. Which clock shows 2 o'clock? Which one shows 2 o'clock? Well, in 2 o'clock, we need to find the clock where the little hand points to the number 2. You need to find the clock where the little hand points to the number 2. In this one, the little hand points to the number 8, so it's not that one. In this clock, the little hand points to the number 3, so it's not that one. And in this clock, the little hand points to the number 2. So this one must be 2 o'clock. This one is 2 o'clock. Now it says, which clock shows 4 o'clock? Which one shows 4 o'clock? Well, we need to find the one where the little hand points to the 4. This little hand points to 10, so it's not this one. This little hand points to 9, so it's not this one. This little hand points to 4, so this one here is 4 o'clock. Now we need to find the one which says 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Well, this little hand points to 3, this is 3 o'clock, it's not this one. This little hand points to 4, this is 4 o'clock, that's not 10 o'clock. But this little hand points to 10, so this one is 10 o'clock. And let's have a look at this one. Which clock shows 3 o'clock? Well, this little hand points to 8, so that one's 8 o'clock. This little hand points to 2, so this is 2 o'clock. But this little hand points to 3, which makes it 3 o'clock. Well done, everybody. That was tricky. But I think with a little bit more practice, you will really understand that. Now, for today's challenge, I am getting you to make your own clock. Now, I've got the clock face here and the numbers. You need to cut out the numbers and stick them on the clock face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 always comes at the top. Then I've given you a big hand to cut out and a little hand to cut out. And placing the big hand and the little hand on your clock, I want to see if you can show me these times. Can you show me 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 12 o'clock? Get your mummies and daddies to take a video or some photos of you. I would love to see you doing this. So good luck everybody with today's math challenge, and I look forward to seeing you later for live teaching. Bye bye.